Hello, welcome back to my channel. I'm not too big of a fan of the lighting right now, but my usual tripod that sits right in front of me is broken. I broke it, so I hope this is okay. Today we're going to be talking about Guerlain. My pronunciation's not going to be great for this brand, but I'll do my best. La Matière collection is so beautiful. All of the fragrances are a masterpiece, but they are extremely pricey. So I thought I'd make this video and tell you what they all smell like so you can make your decisions and maybe sample some for yourself and find one that works for you. So let's get into it. If you exist within the fragrance community, you know Guerlain. I don't know if they're really designer or niche because although Guerlain is a designer technically, he was a chemist. He made fragrances. So he made fragrances for Napoleon, and I think Napoleon actually created the design of these bottles. Definitely giving. I have this whole printout of all the fragrances in the collection with all of my notes written down. It's called L'Art à la Matière collection because each fragrance is inspired by a corresponding piece of art. For some of them it's the Swan Lake Ballet, for other ones it's a musical piece. One of them it was like a type of home decor too, so very cool to see like your corresponding piece of art. So you know, let's get into it. So first they have the collection of like fresh fragrance. So starting with Neroli outrenoir is bergamot, neroli, and smoked tea. Now I'm not usually a big neroli fan, but I wouldn't like go out and pick something that has neroli in it. But I love bergamot and I loved smoked tea. One of my favorite fragrances ever. If you've ever smelled thé oolong, think thé oolong but with like a neroli floral notes. Whatever art this is inspired by is like all black. So it's interesting because it's like black tea, but it's fresh, but it's like dark and mysterious. I think that one is really cool and I definitely am a huge fan of that one. The next one we have is Musk Outreblanc. This is one of my favorites. Like this is probably in my top 5. This one has neroli, white musks, and amberette, and I believe that it actually has a milk note too. But yeah, I love this one. It's clean, it's powdery, it's crisp. There's a real like fresh coolness to it. It really reminds me of Clean Reserve Skin, but it's sweet. Like it's musky in a very clean laundry-like way, but it has this beautiful sweetness and a slight lactonicness to it. Oh, it's beautiful. But there is like a tiny bit of a sourness to it, and I believe that that's from the neroli. I could do with a little bit less neroli, but I love this. And this is really beautiful layered with like a sweeter vanilla scent, I find, to kind of counteract the balance of that neroli, because I find the neroli is just a little sharp for me. So I would mix this with Oud Nude, which is a nice like cherry-like sweet scent. The next one we have is Frenchy lavande. This one, I feel like I would really like in a candle. Lavender lemon cookie, very citrusy, very aromatic. When I went to the Guerlain spa with my mom, this one was the one that she really liked, and I think that they have this in candle form, and like this is one of those things that I love. Like I just love like a lemon verbena lavender smell, especially in like cleaning product or like the home. So this is something that I personally would prefer as like a candle or like a home aroma rather than something I would put on myself, but I really like this. The next one we have was troublantes. So from the opening I thought that there was like a green tea note, like there was something that I thought was like kind of woody, maybe neroli, kind of reminded me of like tree bark or hiking. So very fresh for sure. Definitely reminded me of like the outdoors. Dry down reminded me of like some kind of zest, very herbal, very fougere. Troublante is bergamot, fresh grass, white musks, so aromatic, fresh, very outdoorsy, very bright awakening. Now we have the Floral collection. So Cruel Gardenia is Bewitching, Voluptuous, Misty. This is a powdery gardenia floral. I personally think that it's just like floral. Like it really just smells like a fresh gardenia. Cruel Gardenia, the opening was powdery, sweet, also kind of reminded me of Clean Reserve Skin. So there's like a little bit of a similarity there with Guerlain DNA. And I definitely got gardenia. In the dry down, I got almost like a soft lilac note. So it was very musky. You'd like Cruel Gardenia if you like spring scents and like powdery, soft florals, very like soft, elegant, dainty. Next we have Joyeuse tubereuse, which I really liked. The opening of Joyeuse tubereuse smelled like a red delicious apple. It was juicy, it was crisp, and it had like a little bit of a green aspect to it. So it has green notes, tuberose, and vetiver. So it's a green floral, and I really got like a fruity, appley note to it. When I went to smell the fragrances in person, this was another one that I had my eye on. Next we have Embruns, which is an ylang-ylang fragrance with patchouli at the base. And just based on the notes, I know you guys know that I'm already not a big fan of this one. This one to me, it was very more mature, kind of like a classic perfume, classic floral perfume. When you think floral perfume, you're probably thinking of this, where it's kind of like ylang ylang, jasmine, maybe like patchouli, something earthy at the bottom. I thought it was a little bit dated, but very wealthy smelling. The next one we had was Rose CHERIE, which I had my eye on when I went to smell because it was rose and almond, and I just love almond. This one is classified as a fresh floral. I personally really got like a powdery note to it because of the, I don't know if there's heliotrope in the middle or if I just always associate heliotrope with almondy florals, because there usually is heliotrope. But this one I honestly was a little disappointed by because it was just a little lackluster. Rather than getting deep and sensual, it remains very up here, very like feathery, very soft, very, you know, very beautiful. And I think that this one was inspired by a ballet. Oh, no. This one is inspired by La Vie en Rose by Edith Piaf, the singer. We have Rose Barbare. Rose Barbare. This one is sweet, it's soapy, it has like a honey note and also aldehydes. Rose, peach, honey, and patchouli. This is a woody floral. It kind of reminded me a bit of Rose Milano from Armani Privé. I'm surprised by the fact that I like this, generally because I'm not a big fan of aldehydes. At least I think that there's aldehydes in it. It was definitely a statement. It was strong, and I liked it. I can't complain. Now we have the next collection, which is probably the most famous collection in La Matière, which is their Orientals. I personally don't use this word when it comes to fragrances, and I think that they should not use this word either, but hence that is what it is called. The first one is CUIR BELUGA, which I heard so much about from Demi Guerlain. I was a little scared of this because it has a lavender note, or not lavender, leather note, and I'm scared of leather. I don't usually love leather, but this one was beautiful. It has like a sweet, musky, soft, light musk, like a sweet, musky opening. It was a very powdery, smooth vanilla. It kind of reminded me of Dama Bianca in the dry down, how Dama Bianca by Xerjoff Casamarati is very like, you know, malted, vanilla, beautiful, classy, elegant, powdery. All of that I got with CUIR BELUGA. So it's vanilla and white suede. This fragrance did not have the greatest longevity. I was considering this as the fragrance that I was going to pick out to get a full size, but the longevity was just not there for me, so I couldn't go with it. The next one we have TONKA IMPERIALE, which is another one of the most popular ones, very hyped on YouTube. I love this fragrance. Cherry, vanilla, tonka bean. Sweet cherry-like opening, on the skin, almondy, amaretto, sweet, sexy. All of these were words that came to mind when I was smelling this. Sweet, cherry-like, almond, tonka bean, and rosemary in the opening, which is really interesting. I didn't actually pick up on the rosemary note. I'm a big fan of tonka fragrances. I think that they're so beautiful. This one is definitely unisex, super wearable for women or men. I really liked it. Personally, I know I have Parfum de Marly Herod is another like cherry-like fragrance that's unisex that a lot of people are big fans of. I like this better. Next, we have Spiritueuse Double Vanille. Okay, where do I start? I don't want to piss people off with this because this is arguably one of the most popular fragrances from Guerlain. I hate it. Why does this one smell like pizza on me? I've sprayed it on myself millions of times, and every time I smell pizza. I smell pizza, I smell tomato sauce. There's something incredibly acidic to this, like especially in the opening. I think that the pink pepper gives like an aromatic quality that mixes with something that's a little acidic, maybe the rum, that in my mind reads pizza sauce, like tomato basil. Pink pepper opening, aromatic, very woody on the skin. Something bugs me a little, and then I wrote, smells like pizza on me with this emoji. 7 out of 10, but I will revisit is what I wrote. I revisited it and I wouldn't even give it a 7. Personally, it wasn't for me. The next one we have is ANGELIQUE Noire, which is my favorite. It's so pretty. This one is Angelica, which apparently is one of the most expensive fragrances. There's like a very, very little amount of Angelica that's harvested per year, so it's extremely expensive. The fact that this has Angelica is like so bougie. If you don't know what Angelica is, it's a green, it's an extremely green note. I don't know if it's like the leaf of a flower or it's an Angelica flower. I'm actually not too sure, but it's extremely green smelling, and it gives a green opening to the vanilla. The only Angelica fragrance that I had before this was Velvet Vanilla by Mancera, which you can't see in the frame, but it's up there. I was a little put off when I first smelled this. It's not typical to have a mixture between a green note and a vanilla. Once you get used to it, it's so beautiful and stunning. So this is a green opening. It's a little bitter in the opening too, with this luxurious creamy vanilla at the base. And the Guerlain vanilla is not like a sweet syrupy vanilla. It's not like Vanilla Woods. It's not like Vanilla 28. It's a ambery vanilla, I'd say. It's not synthetic smelling at all. It's not even incredibly like gourmand. It's just a soft, it adds like a creamy character to the fragrance. And then the last one we have is oeillet pourpre, but it's carnation, benzoin, and leather. I'm gonna have to find my notes on this because I don't even remember smelling it. Maybe I'll have to pull it out. Okay, I took a smell and then took a breath and then took another smell. I think I just smelled 2 different fragrances. Oh, okay. See, my toxic trait is there's something in fragrance that I read as like barbecue, and this has a little bit of that like a barbecue-y vibe. It's a little smoky, spicy. It's not giving Tom Ford ombre leather. That's like a cold industrial leather. This is like a worn couch or like someone's warm jacket. Like this smells like you're smelling a man, or like you're picking up like a thrifted leather jacket, but there's a bunch of like cinnamon in the pockets or like different spices and stuff, nutmeg, cumin, maybe like a cumin note. Yeah, it reminds me of like you're hugging someone and they maybe like are wearing leather, but it's like worn in leather. It's like that brown kind of distressed leather because, you know, it's been worn so much and loved so much. And they smell a little spicy. Maybe it's like an aftershave. That's what this smells like. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Parfum de Marly Herod, the spiciness in the opening of Herod that I get with this. So that is oeillet pourpre. I like it. So Oud Nude, we have the 2 oud fragrances. There's actually 3, but I've only smelled 2, Oud Nude and Oud Cherry. I'm not a fan of Oud Cherry. Literally doesn't smell like cherry at all. It's just like an animalic musky oud. It's like fruity floral with a liquor note, I think, cherry accord, lacquered. Personally, I don't have too many thoughts on it because I just found it very animalic. I didn't really even get a cherry note. I just found it like an animalic oud. But Oud Nude is so beautiful. I get like a raspberry like cherry vibe to it. It definitely smells like cherries. There's sandalwood, vanilla, and oud. And oh, it's so good. It's so sensual and beautiful and lovely. And I like to layer this with musk outreblanc, which is a lactonic musk scent that's like fresh and musky, with the base of this like cherry oud is like, oh, so everything, you need to smell it. It's so good. It's the best one from their new collection. Now we have Iris Torrefié, which is iris, coffee, and ambrette. It's supposed to smell like someone's lipstick left on a cup of coffee. It's floral, it's woody, and there's a contrast because when you think of it, coffee is like gourmand, it's aromatic, it's deep, it's rich, and then iris is very light, powdery. It has a little bit of like a green aspect too, especially if you have like orris root with it. I'm not particularly a big fan of iris fragrances, so to be completely honest, I know that this is not going to be like my everything, but I think it's a really interesting idea for a fragrance. Iris. Very iris, but there is something warm to it. There's something a little woody. So I don't get a lot of the coffee in the dry down. I really wish I did. I don't know if it's just the fact of the notes that the iris really overpowers the coffee, so the coffee just like stands in the background. But there is like a sweetness to it. Like if I'm really stretching, I could say like, okay, I smell the coffee, but like I don't. I wouldn't have picked it out ever on my own. It's okay. If you like iris, you'd like it. If you're not a big fan of iris, maybe not. I think it might be the ambrette that I'm smelling a lot too, which is this like almost tart note. But I definitely get iris, I definitely get ambrette, don't get the coffee. Next we have épices volées, which is bergamot, spices, and sandalwood. I wrote down that the opening smells like a man who just got out of the shower. I get bergamot, I get lavender, and I get herbs. I like it. I maybe wouldn't spend that much money on it, but it has this like fougere smell that's so familiar. Like I feel like we've all smelled that male barbershop fougere smell. We all have some kind of association with that. So it has this like familiarity to it that I found really attractive. The dry down sort of reminded me of the Polo Blue Parfum. It's less spicy than the opening, but it's solid and it's trustworthy, and I just want to smell it on a man because this has like so many associations with me to men that I've loved and trusted. So my particular scent associations with this kind of notes, I love it. I find it so familiar. I find it so trusting. I really, really like to smell this on a man. So I was a big fan of this one. Now we have Santal rosa, which I don't have notes on either, so I'll have to give it a smell. Okay, I can't find it in my pile, so we're just gonna give a pass on this one because I can't remember what I said about it and I literally can't find it. So maybe that's why I didn't have notes on it. Maybe I just didn't get it. Last we have les matières confidentielles, subtle skin-like fragrances. So these ones have like really pretty clear bottles. Next we have eau de lit, which is bed water. I said it's okay, I'd have to try it on my skin. It's slightly nutty and I found like there's an aromatic note to it. Musky, fresh. I thought it was okay. I was really excited because of the name eau de lit. I wanted to, you know, smell like a bed. I thought it would be beautiful. And like imagine getting a fragrance called eau de lit, like eau de bed, and then you can wear it to bed or like to an intimate encounter. I thought that'd be so fun, but you know, it was more of like fresh than like a sweet intimate skin scent. So it would be more of like something I'd like spray on my bed sheets, a bedroom aroma kind of thing. Next we have eau de lingerie, eau de lingerie. Oh, you guys, this one is beautiful. It is so intimate and soft. This is iris, this is vanilla, and it has white musk. So it literally smells like a mixture of like clean laundry with vanilla, but it's like a soft, subtle vanilla. So it's kind of like a mixture of all these like soft feminine things, like being like clean and fresh and silky and sweet, like your leftover vanilla perfume with iris from your lipstick. So it's just so stunning. I have, for my notes, I have literally heart eyes. I wrote, OMG, I love sweet and gorgeous. So sweet on my skin, so gorgeous. So this is everything. I like the name eau de lingerie, but this is what I was expecting from eau de lit because like it's a bedtime scent. This is just like so intimate, 10 out of 10. Love it, so beautiful, definitely smell it. It's okay, my only shtick with it is it's just so expensive and the fragrance itself is soft and powdery and light and beautiful. And it's just, I just wouldn't spend like $500 for it, but it's so pretty and I really want to put it on. The next one we have is 20, which is eau de cashmere. This is soft, it's comforting, and it's musky. It's so lovely. It just smells soft like laundry. It's plush. Again, and for me, this was more of one of those scents that it was like, I want to spray my sheets with it. I want to smell this all the time. Not necessarily on me, you know? It's not really what I want to be bringing to the table, but it's what I want to be having on my table. So lavender, iris, white musks. And maybe this is like a theme of like me loving lavender as like a home scent. Maybe I had lavender back home a lot. But yeah. And then the last one is Au Secret, which is fresh, clean, and comforting. This is a bergamot, orange blossom, almond scent. You didn't pick up on the almond. Definitely got the bergamot, definitely got the orange blossom. I thought this smelled kind of like a spa. It was citrusy, it was white floral, kind of exactly what you'd expect from something that has bergamot and orange blossom. Like that's just exactly what I smelled. Didn't smell any almond. Not a big fan. That is all of the L'Art de la Matière collection, except Santal par Rosa, and this one other one that I skipped because I just didn't feel like talking about it. Now we're gonna go to my full size. So Guerlain sent me those samples and I got to play with them, try them out. That's why I like took really thorough notes about every single one because I was so picky about the one that I was gonna receive as full size. So this is the one I chose. Look at her. Look at this. So pretty. Angelique Noire is the one that I picked. Let's talk about this packaging. First of all, it's one of the ones that you pull it up. So I like that there's a pretty display on it. You got the little bee on the bottle. Let's get into it. I don't even want to open it. Like it's just too pretty. Let's open her up. Oh my gosh. So pretty. You can actually customize what you want on the top or the sides. These are the new bottles. They're actually, I think that it was designed by Napoleon. They used to have these like pretty bee bottles. They got rid of them. I think that these are a lot more modern looking. I think I like the old ones a little better, but this one is very modern. I think it's pretty, and I've used the sprayers and the atomizers are like beautiful. So open it up. The atomizer has the signature Guerlain sign on it. Okay, so I'm gonna spray it right on. I got scared that I didn't want to get on my clothes. Okay. Immediately, bright Angelica, like literally wakes you up. The greenness in the Angelica is so like almost bitter, almost sharp. I got some on my hand, but it's like, it's invigorating. It's pretty, it's green. It smells like you're outdoors, like you're in the garden, but I'm already getting the vanilla. Like I'm already getting the sweetness. There is nothing like this fragrance. There really is, and there's no way to describe it. If you're familiar with Angelica and vanilla, you might be able to have like some kind of grasp or concept of what this is gonna smell like, but it's so unique and novel that I really just think you have to smell it. Like, go out, sample this. If you're in Canada, Holt Renfrew, some of them have this. I smelled it in Calgary. But yeah, Guerlain, so beautiful. There's a bee on the back. Thank you so much, Guerlain. I'm gonna put it back in my bottle, and I'm definitely gonna be using this and trying it out. I should probably conclude by saying maybe my top 5. So I'm gonna give you my top 5. If you're looking to sample some and you want my recommendations, if you think you have like similar taste as me, here are my top 5. Number 1 would be Angelique Noire. The longevity is really good. The quality is there. It's deep, it's rich, it's intoxicating, it's beautiful, and I just love vanilla. So I think that Angelique Noire is my number 1. It's so special. Like, you'll never find anything like that. My number 2 is probably Eau de Lingerie. I just loved the fact that it was so intimate. And, you know, I've sort of smelled things like it before, but like nothing has really given me that feeling. I loved that it was soft. I loved that it was pretty. I loved that it had this like delicate, like it just made me feel so feminine, and I really loved that. The next one I would say definitely is CUIR Beluga. 100% huge fan. Again, soft, powdery. The longevity was not completely there, but like it was just, there's just nothing like it. There's nothing like it. You have to smell it. I really liked TONKA Imperiale. I love Oud Nude. Musk Outreblanc is really pretty. And I really liked Épices Volées, I think, the masculine one. That one, beautiful. Let me know your favorites in the comments below. Let me know what you're interested in trying out. I'd love to hear the comments below. And let me know what you guys think for the next video. In the meantime, give me a follow on Instagram. I'm active on my Instagram stories, commonly asking scent of the day and video ideas. So follow me on Instagram because I'm really fun over there. Follow me on TikTok if you're not already. And I hope you guys have a great day. Bye!